All right, welcome to the Everyday Mom Challenge. This is for all of my followers and friends who are in the middle of their doctorate program and really just need some tips. They want to just have some questions thrown out to them to consider. I can't even describe to you the journey of a dissertation. um, it is one of a roller coaster. But through it all, we must stand on the rock. So, where do you even begin? Because time slips away, it goes by so fast. And we don't want to get ourselves caught with continuing coursework because each time we add a course, we know that that's money. Um, I had to take one additional course just because of the time frame of where it fell when I was in my AQR, and I'm having to pay for that. So first, let us just start with a Bible verse, 1 Samuel 2:2. There is no one holy like the Lord. There is no one besides you. There is no rock like our God. Now I'm going to give you an acronym today, the rock, and it's going to help you when you're either at the very beginning of your prospectus or you're starting out your proposal and you might need to readdress some issues, or you might be smack in the middle of an AQR and going, where can I improve or advance this work? So wherever you are in the process, just know that God is with you. Continue to serve Him, to lean on Him, and to spend time with God. In the midst of all that we have to do, just remember it's our relationship with God that's going to help to sustain us. So this is probably, I'm going to go ahead and warn you, it's either going to be a 2 or a 3-part session just because I only have a recorder that lasts for 10 minutes. And I really want to do this justice. So this is an acronym, the ROC, in order to test your determine if your problem statement will actually stand and be valid. Is it something that really needs to be studied? Let me talk about why I decided to make this video. I'm working with a lot of students now through my life coaching business because I went through such a strenuous situation, working full time, homeschooling, and getting my doctorate degree, all wrapped up in the one, being a wife, a mother, serving the Lord, trying to do my author platform, all of that at one time. I really had to depend upon my resources. I had an excellent chair and methodologist and content expert. I cannot tell you the tremendous amount of knowledge that I gained from working with my little crew. And I was very open and willing and just received a lot. And now it's my turn to give back. And so I'm helping tons of students, students that I met in residency, students that have found me online through Monarch Educational Services. And even though I don't have a paid university position as a content expert or a dissertation chair, I have the knowledge of the been there, done that. So I want to share some of that with you today. And if you need some more personalized work, just reach out to me. I'm here for you. So the first step, guys, you just don't know how much you're going to need to research this thing. So I'm telling you right now, if your problem that you're looking into is small and it's not widely researched, you're going to have an issue. That's from day one. If you can't find, let's just say a minimum of, like, for example, at my previous university, it was you had to have a minimum of 50 research articles, but I had over 300 in my dissertation. Yes, that was crazy amount, but that lets you know what's out there with well-being, single moms, religious practices, um, the positive psychology, because that was my topic. And because my topic is so researched, I was able to have a plethora of information at my fingertips that I was to be able to glean from and learn and use in my study. But if you're working with a project, for example, I was working with a friend, a close friend of mine, and she really wanted to study something that, and I helped her, guys, seriously. We could only find like 10 research articles on it. And sure, that means that it does need study. And you're saying, well, why can't I study that? Well, how are you going to write your dissertation around that? You're going to have trouble. You need to find something out there that's hot, it's trending, it's current, that's all over the place. Then you need to ask yourself these questions. Let's say you find the hot topic and you can find so many research articles. And I'm talking about peer reviewed research articles, not just books, because you're limited on how many books that you can use. Like, I think I only used 2 books from Dr. Seligman with positive psychology um, to help build my content knowledge because I was heavily into research articles and studies. But you've got to ask yourself, is this problem researchable? Can I actually perform a qualitative or a quantitative study on this? But it's more than that. You've got to find out right away, is this something that's doable? Because, guys, you got to get real. You've got to be realistic. You know, R stands for research, but you also need to say R means realistic. So, for example, when I first started, I would have professors to ask me, and I loved it because it was an early coursework. What do you want to research? What do you think your scope is going to be, your focus? And I said, you know, I'm passionate about prison ministry, and I really want to look at recidivism, the chaplaincy, and right away I got red flags. I was asked a simple question: do you work in the prison system or know anyone there? And the answer was no, I don't. And then I started questioning myself, well, how am I going to do this? And they say sometimes getting into prison systems is very tight. You might want to go ahead and see early on if a possibility could arise from this topic. Would you have the resources? Do you want to go that route? Because then, you know, time ticks away. And I went, okay, I don't have access to prisons. What do I have access to? Schools, because I'm in the school. So I thought about doing something with homeschooling education because that's my passion. I thought about doing something with schools, literacy. But then I was like, no, it can't be that. It's got to be under my Christian ministry. So then I could do homeschool and religious connections. Then I started doing research on homeschool and I pulled as much as I could. And there just really, guys, there wasn't a lot out there that I felt like I could use. So I crossed that one off my list. And I'm doing all of this as I'm doing my schoolwork. You know, I'm not being prompted to do this. I'm doing this as my own guided study, my own independent research on the side. When I would wait for like my papers to be graded, I was out researching different topics. Then I was like, okay, that's not really going to work, even though I have homeschool associations and things like that. I just don't have enough research here that I could find. Now, maybe if I could research it today, I might be able to find more. Years ago, no. So then my question came is, well, then what could I have access to? And I had access to churches. So that's when I found my focused research. That's where my problem statement came in. And I knew I would have guaranteed in with churches, 100%. So how sure are you? How sure are you that you're able to actually do this work.